Let's discuss the legal angle of all this now. Joining me now from Los Angeles is defense attorney Sarah Azari. Great to see you. Look, okay, so help us understand this. If this happened, investigators would have had to apply to a judge with enough evidence to show probable cause that some offence was being committed. So if a warrant was issued, one presumes the evidence had to be somewhat compelling. Now, is that right?
Well, Michael, yes and no. I think what you're talking about is a Title III type of wiretap order that pertains to criminal cases like murder cases, drug trafficking cases, and other criminal cases where a prosecutor from the Department of Justice presents probable cause affidavit, sworn affidavit to a magistrate judge and gets the wiretap order for the particular person's lines. Now, that they have to show that there's the target has committed or is about to commit a crime, and that these are the lines and facilities that were used. What's at issue here is a FISA wiretap order, which is a little bit different. It's much broader, but it's a process that is very specific. The criteria is very distinct and different from a regular Title III wiretap order. And in this case, what happens is the highest person in the FBI or CIA, so the director, would put together this affidavit that the target is a foreign power or an agent acting on behalf of a foreign power, that this is a matter of foreign intelligence, which is the broad part of this, because, you know, with espionage and terrorism and the sophisticated nature of it, almost anything could be foreign intelligence. And that there's probable cause that they use the particular facilities, the phone lines or the computer lines, to communicate with respect to the foreign intelligence. Right. So that is then submitted to the Department of Justice. It's reviewed by the Attorney General or Deputy Attorney General. It's then, once it's approved, it's given to a special court for an order. It is not within the president's power to issue.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. The president doesn't say, hey, do this. That doesn't happen. I'm curious, could Mr. Trump, as president now, just pick up the phone and ask the intelligence community, the Justice Department, if such a thing had happened, or might he not get an answer? What are the rules?
Well, President Trump probably thinks he can because he has a history of that, but he cannot. He cannot do that. These are very secret proceedings. The sanctity of our highest intelligence has to be protected. These are people that protect our country. So the documents that are supporting the wiretap warrant cannot be disclosed. The fruits of that warrant cannot be disclosed. These are very, very secret and high intelligence types of proceedings, and definitely the President of the United States does not have the power to order it, nor to find out about it in Trump's case.
So in general terms, what could authorities have been looking for if they were? And let's just keep reminding people there is no evidence put forward by Donald Trump that this actually happened, but what sort of things could they have been looking for in the Trump Tower? Not necessarily Donald Trump. What is it that the intelligence community could have been looking for?
Well, I think what prompted this, I think it was the hacking, the allegations of the hacking of the Democratic National Convention's servers. And then there was the issue of whether there was any collusion between the Republican Party and the Russian officials to skew the election. I mean, those were the real two main events that would have been of interest to our intelligence. But what they ultimately put in the supporting declaration or affidavit for the FISA warrant is a different story. Because remember, back in June of 2016, the application was made, it was denied, and it was very limited to Trump himself and criminal activity related to Russian banks. And that was denied, and then they went back in October and resubmitted the package, this time making it broader and making it about foreign intelligence and Russia in general. Right. So one of the things, to answer your question, is also it has to do with sort of a historical FISA wiretap that exists on any foreign authority. So specifically, China, Russia, our adversaries have a history of espionage in this country. And so there is that wiretap that exists on the ambassadors and the diplomats' phones, period. It has nothing to do with any specific event. So my position is it could have very well been somebody in the Trump Tower who is not a target, who is not even involved necessarily in all of this, communicating with a foreign official that has this sort of historic FISA warrant
okay.
For wiretap.
Yeah, exactly. Until we get more detail and evidence, no one knows anything for sure. Criminal defense attorney Sarah Azari, got to leave it there. Thanks so much.
Thank you.